Hey everyone, I'm going to give you a quick overview of this new software program that we're using called Textedly. It's actually really good. I think that it has the best interface. I've worked with about 5 different ones, and I think this is kind of where we're going to land for now. Hopefully, there'll be some things that you guys bring up over the next couple weeks or whatever, and we can tweak those and figure out if that's kind of the best fit for us. But hopefully it is. It's not super expensive, and we have quite a lot of bandwidth that we can use. We have 500 messages a month. If we need to scale up from that, we can, or scale down, we can also do that as well. So just kind of, there are changes that can be made later on. So let's see. I'm going to turn my video off here, just because I just wanted to say hi, and then I'll give you a quick run through of this tool. So let's look at all the different features. I'll try to go through them one by one. If there's anything I don't cover or you guys have any questions about, obviously just send me an email, and I'll be happy to kind of either put a video out or send you a direct email to go over it. So when you log in, this is kind of the thing you see. This is the dashboard. It has kind of every little feature you can do. And this is kind of why I like their system, because it's very redundant. You can do everything from the left side. You can do everything from here, which is kind of nice. So it's kind of just up to however you want. The first thing you're ever going to want to do is add a new contact. So whenever you have a customer who has given you verbal agreement to get text, which is very important. Okay. It's very important that you've gotten some kind of verbal agreement that says, hey, I would like to receive text from you guys. That's the first step that we need. We have been fully approved to use this app. We have all the Georgia licensing, all the opt-in licensing, all that's been done. So all we have to do is just use the app. So, but we do need that verbal agreement. Would you like to receive text? When you want to add a contact, you just go to new over here with contacts, or you can go to contacts, and then this is the screen that will pop up. You will have to put in the mobile number. It has to be a mobile number, obviously. I mean, you can't text a landline, but if you do put it in a landline, it will search and it will tell you that won't work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can put in a lot of other information here. I'm just going to put my number in here. I'll do my first name as well, so you guys could use this to text me, and then we'll do Brian. So there we go. So that's my stuff. You can put all that information in here. There's nothing that has to be added here at all. Keywords, or you'll see these pop up a lot. Basically what this means is if you have a group of people that you want a text to go out to, like if there's updates and you've got a whole group of people, then they would have a certain keyword attached to them. So let's say that this is like monthly newsletter. Well, then the monthly newsletter would go out to everyone that has that keyword attached to them. So you don't really want to add that unless you're going to have them giving mass texts, which we want to try to avoid if possible. We're trying to use this kind of as a walkie-talkie system. Hey, your customer, your order's almost ready, that kind of thing. So all we have to do is hit save. And that's the minimum you have to put in. You can obviously add more stuff than that. So the opt-in, like I said, there is a customer opt-in for Georgia. So the first text you should always be sending is hey, will you, do you want to receive texts from us? I have one kind of copied right here, so I'll just copy this and paste it over and send it to myself. So I'll show you how to send a new message to this customer. You can either do it from the customer dashboard, or you can go to, if we go back home, you can go to messages and just do a new message. And if you click this plus button right here, this is another place you can do it, or you can do it from here, or you can do it from the left side. So again, very redundant, very user-friendly. So let's just go to a new message. All right, we will add me into that. So always choose the phone number first. Choose the main number. You'll see a list of numbers below here. It could be 1, it could be 8. We might use these for different reasons, like if we want to send from a different area code or something like that. But always just choose the main number for now, because this is the one that we've registered with Georgia, and it is legal for us to send text from this number. And then we are going to choose who we're going to send to. So all you have to do is click add over here, and then you just select all the contacts you want to send it to. Most of the time, you're just going to be sending it to one person, or whoever the person was you just added. That's fine. So I'll just choose me. And again, you can search those by keywords, or you can search. So the keywords, again, if you have a group of people, you can do that, or you can search their thing here. So I'll just choose myself and hit OK. So there's no contacts, there's no keyword. That's good, because I only want to send one message to this person, so that's really good to check out. And I'll just paste this here. Now, this is the structure that we want, and I've saved this in our templates, so you can pull this up by just clicking on templates, and then you can search the template opt-in, and you can find that here, and you can find that message right here, which is, hi, this is B&M Metals. Probably yes if you'd like text updates about your order. It's very important that this is the first text that we always send people. Again, this gives us the website gives us protection with the kind of federal laws, and then Georgia laws allow that we are, they have to do an opt-in. And then we also are giving them an opt-out. So you see right here at the bottom, it always puts this at the bottom no matter what. So it gives customers the option to always say stop. At any point during your text messaging, they can say stop, and it will remove them from our platform. Now, again, the reason that might seem kind of frustrating, but if they do say stop, it will remove them from the system. That is the legal way that we have to do it in Georgia. If they say stop, we can no longer keep their data. You can't do anything with them. So anyway, just if a customer stops getting, alerts and they want to be re-added, you have to add them again, but you can tell them like, yeah, if you say stop, it's going to remove you. So anyway, this is the first message that I'll send to myself. I'll send this right now, and then I'm just going to hit send, and this will send that message directly to our customer. And if I get that during the tutorial here, I'll opt in, and then we can go from there. So again, that's very important, that first step of opting in. And then from here, you can actually look through your messages. If you go to messages on the left, you can see all the different messages that we've sent in the past. I sent one to Chris, and then I reset everything. But here's my messages right here. So here's where I can continually talk to that customer. I can send them new messages. I can send them updates. I can continue this stream of messages. And there's replies. See, so there's no replies yet. And hopefully if I get that text message soon, I can give you guys an update. But oh, there it is. Hi, this is B&M Metals. So I'm just going to reply yes and send that off. And then it will come through. Hopefully, again, while I'm doing the tutorial, it'll come through and let me know. Yeah, there it is. Alex Bryan. Yeah. So now we know that we have this text string with our customer. We can continue that from here. So if you go to your inbox on the left, that's our next step. Our inbox is where we can continually, we can have all these different text streams going at the same time. You can interact with customers constantly through text stream. It keeps a record of this. It keeps a backup. So you don't have to worry about like saving anything or anything like that. And so now, because I have this yes here, that would be proof if anyone ever tried to say like, well, they didn't give me a chance to, I didn't opt in for this. Well, yeah, you did. And here it is. So now we don't have to worry about getting banned or anything like we did on our last platform. This is like much cleaner and a much better interface. And like I said, we have some protections already in place to make sure that we're doing this legally. Okay, so in your inbox is where you would reply to messages. Again, this becomes as simple as a chat. Whenever you type anything here, I can say like, welcome to B&M texting. Okay, and when I send that off, it will go directly to the customer. And you'll notice that you have 1,600 characters, which equals one message. You can go beyond that 1,600 characters, but if you do, it will just take up 2 messages. So it'll take up 2 of our messages whenever you do that. Remember that every single message that you send is a message off of our thing. So again, if we have to scale it up, we will. But if you'll notice, we have now sent, we have 497 left because we've sent 3. I sent 1 to Chris and 2 to myself. So again, it's only outgoing messages that it's charging us for. We pay a flat rate for that, but if we go above 500, we'll start paying per text. But I will get an alert in my email about that, and then we can kind of make changes as we go forward. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. A couple things that I want to make sure we go over really quick though. Kind of the what to do and what not to do, right? Texting updates about orders is kind of where we really want to use this. One thing we probably do not want to put employees on here, just because I think that would continually rack up our messages. If we do have an employee, for example, that we make an exception for, that might be something like a driver or something like that. But for now, we're going to keep employee information out of here and just use this for customers. Don't text any personal information. Obviously, these are being saved. They are being backed up, and they're on. They're being fed to all different things. Kind of like how data is used nowadays. So just don't put any personal information. Try not to send any personal information over these text messages. And And, we try not to put any concrete delivery dates. If someone asks about a time frame, we try to give general time frames. Remember, the positive thing is that we now have a record of all the communication with the customer, but that can also be a negative thing as well, right? It's a double-edged sword. It will help us if we need to communicate something with a customer later, but it can also hurt us if we say, hey, I promise your order will be there in 2 days, and it's not. Well, then they have a record of that. So let's just be careful about how specific we are, unless obviously we're very, very confident in those timeframes. And then also, kind of a weird rule they have is texting late night. So anything typically after 8 p.m. is when, you can be considered. If you'll notice, your phones, typically you get less spam calls after 8 p.m. This is normal. Legally, we're not supposed to text anyone, unsolicited anyway. But they definitely do try to stick to that 8 p.m. rule. So anything after 8 p.m. or before 6 a.m., we typically want to make sure we're not texting customers outside that time frame. So like I said, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. totally fine. Anything outside that, let's try to keep these limited to emergencies or something we absolutely have to do. And yeah, that's great. So multiple people can actually log in to this system at the same time. So all you'll need to do to get access is to send me an email and just say, hey, can I have access to Textedly? That way I'll know you've watched the video. I know you went through everything. I'll get you the login and then you can get started. And like I said, always check the inbox first. That's a good rule of thumb to see if there's a message ongoing with the customer already, because we don't want to be sending them multiple text streams. It'll always send it and it'll keep it in here. But if we have maybe the customer said something before that we want to maybe reply to before we send them a new request or a new order, because that could be very frustrating for a customer if they ask a question about an order and then maybe we send a new update for a new order. So let's just make sure we're checking the inbox first. And that is it. It's super simple. There's a lot of other things in here that you can kind of play around with, and I encourage you to kind of click around and play around. You're not gonna mess anything up by going in here and looking at keywords and tags and things. And there's a lot of really clever ways that we could actually use this. So like I said, feel free to check it out. There's even like apps that can be integrated with this, and that's the fun stuff. But the absolute basic functionality is to add the customers in here and then message them whenever they want alerts and things like that. So again, if you have any questions, guys, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. And good luck using the tool.